والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. أما بعد. Chapter 14, page 77. Suretyship, Kafala. Suretyship Kafala is one commitment to present the indebted person to the creditor. So suretyship concerns the guaranteed person himself, and it is valid for anyone in debt.
طيب. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على خاتم النبيين وسيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Today we talk about al-kafala. Al-kafala. And last week we talked about what? Al-Dhaman. And here we'd like to know what's the difference between kafala and dhaman, between the kafil and al-dhamin. طيب. We say about dhaman, which is guarantee, that the one who guarantees somebody, he will be responsible about what? About his paying his debt. If he didn't pay it. As we say, for example, for Arshad, he took money from Muhammad. Say 1,000 riyal. And they say to Muhammad, don't worry, Ana dhamin, I am guarantee for Arshad. Then if Arshad did not pay the money on that time, I have to pay this money. Right? Or he disappeared for any reason. Right? This is the dhaman, guarantee. Kafala, it is just to guarantee to bring which one? The person. Okay? Doesn't guarantee the debt. The payment. This is the meaning of kafala. Is it clear? Clear? Right. So when I say, for example, I found somebody, he wants to take his debt from another person. And he goes into the court or to the police station. And then I said, let him go. I promise you that next time, maybe he said after next week I'll bring your money or I'll give you a debt or whatever. He promised, next week I will come and give it to you. And he said, okay, who's going to guarantee your presence? Here's the meaning here. Okay, surety. That means to sure that you will be here. And he said, Ana kafil. Okay? Ana kafil. That means I am kafil for what? To bring the person. Like, but it's not I pay the debt. So this is related to the body, not to the money. نعم.
يعني غلطان مع الشرطة ما عندها شيء.
نعم.
قال له يعني تقول في الشرطة.
تيجي. نعم.
تيجي تقول أنا أكفله مثلا في المراجعة أنا أجيبها يعني.
أيوة. بارك الله. نعم. هذا في حادث وجيت المركز هذا جاري أنا أقبل أجيب. طيب. What you said, that if somebody Brother Muhammad gave an example, which, is common in our community. If somebody made an accident, right? And the other party, the police came, and the other party said, I want him to fix my car. And the police took him to the police station, and they said, okay, I came as, I'm his neighbor or his friend, call me. And then I said to the policeman that, okay, let him go, and whenever you need him, I am kafil. I'll be able to make him present. I mean, to bring him here. So this is the meaning of kafala. Is it clear now? The difference between kafala and dhaman? Right. there is one saying, like for example, Sheikh bin Uthaymeen says, this depends on the urf sometimes. If the urf, what's the meaning of urf? We said before this. The custom of the community. If it's known in the custom of the community, people, they get used to this. That if somebody says, I am kafil for this, that means I am kafil to bring him or to pay in his behalf, then it's become Dhaman. Okay, even he said the word that Kafala. Okay? And some scholars they said no. It depends here on the way that he expressed, his relation to this person. Is he going to bring him in person or to pay in his behalf in case that he couldn't pay his debt? But this is the difference between Kafala and Dhaman. Now,
no suretyship is permissible for prescribed punishment because suretyship depends on certainty, while prescribed punishments are not to be executed when combined with suspicious proofs. In addition, suretyship does not apply in a case of legal retribution as it is to be executed only on the offenders. It is impermissible to execute legal retribution on a surety when the one guaranteed cannot be found.
Right. This related to if this person, there is shubha, okay, that he will be punished. And he said, okay, I'll make him appear. Or when you need him, I can bring him. The Sheikh said here there is no kafala. Why? Because you cannot take, this is not certain that if it's their punishment or not. This is shubha. والحدود تدرى بالشبهات. الحدود تدرى بالشبهات. What is the meaning of this? Yes. That means, you see, any punishment, okay, it will be taken away if there is any doubt. Okay? الحدود based on certainty, not in doubt. That means if there is doubt about this person, is he the thief or not, we cannot just go and cut his hand. Okay? Or apply any punishment on him. So this, when they say al-hudud tudra bil-shubha. If this person, he was a killer, that means he killed somebody. And when they caught him, the police caught him, he said, okay, and the judge, for example, said that this man should be executed. Okay, their decision to execute him as because he's killed the other person. And he said, okay, give me time. I will go to my family, okay, and tell them and, to see my kids. Now, is it okay to ask for kafala here or not? And somebody came and he said, I am kafil for him. Is it okay? No, it's not. No, it's not. Why? Because if he couldn't bring this person, what will happen? Can they execute him? The kafil? No. What's the difference from taking money from him? In case that he couldn't bring. You get the point now? So in case there is punishment on the person, we cannot, transfer it to the kafil, then we did not, or this is not permissible. The kafara in this case is not permissible. Now?
The surety must give his consent in order to make suretyship valid, as he is not obliged to bear the responsibility of suretyship. The obligation of the surety is legally absolved if the guaranteed person dies. Likewise, the surety is legally absolved when the guaranteed person submits himself before the creditor at the due time and place, since he then fulfills the obligation of the surety.
Right. Now, when this kafala ends, Sheikh Abdul Majid, for example, he made kafala for a person. this person, he took money or from another party, and then Shaykh Abdul Majid said, I am his kafil. When you need him, I'll bring. Right? Right? And then this person died, passed away. How can Shaykh Abdul Majid bring him? So in this case, his side is clear by the list of the maqfool, the one who gave him the kafala. Got it? Okay? How can I say this? No, I want him now. Okay, you can go with him and show him his grave and say, this is the man here. Which is not, right. So this is what they said then. In case the one, okay, that you give surety to was dead, or passed away, then it's over. It's over. The other case, if this person came himself in the right time, the court told him that after 10 days, and he by himself came and submit himself to the authority in the right time. Right? Now, is the kafala over or not? Khalas, over. Because this was the purpose of this kafala. The purpose is that he present him again to court. And since this person, he came by himself, there is no need to call the kafil and ask him to bring him. He is already there. Okay? Now.
However, if the surety cannot present the guaranteed person at the due time, or if the guaranteed person has been absent for a long period during which he could have been presented, then the surety must guarantee the debt.
Now, this is for the debt here. If he didn't bring, okay, then he will tell. This is why we say this depends on the custom here. In the custom. If he brought him, and this, the one, okay, who took this debt, you brought him to the court. And when he was there, he said, I don't have money to pay. Do we have to take it from the kafir? Huh? No, we don't. Because this is not Ramadan. But in case he disappears, why you didn't? You said that you will bring, okay? Since you didn't, you were not able to bring him, then what? You should pay the whatever in his behalf, the debt in his side.
Automatically, kafara is changed to the man.
Yeah, like this. Okay, because he's supposed to bring him here. Okay? Now.
This is according to the general meaning of the prophetic hadith, in which he, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the guarantor, here the surety, the guarantor is responsible for paying the thing he guaranteed.
Yeah, this is the point, as you said, Ibrahim. Okay? So this turn to Zaman, that means you have to pay his debt. Khalas? Now.
It is permissible to
But not from the first time. Okay? Not from the first time. He said, you pay the money. No. First of all, you should bring the person. Right? In case that you couldn't, he disappeared for any reason, he's not dead. Okay? You couldn't bring for any reason, then you should pay whatever in his side. There is a difference between Zaman and Na'am.
It is permissible to guarantee the acquaintance of a person. For example, a person comes to borrow money from another, and the latter says, I do not know you, so I will not lend to you. Then a third person says, I guarantee my acquaintance of him to you, meaning, I know who he is and where he lives. In such a case, the surety is not only required to mention the name and address of the guaranteed person, but he must also present him to the creditor.
Nah, so it's not necessary. I know him. You don't have to ask about his name. I know this person. Okay, I know all details about him. You get the point now? The example the Sheikh gave. Somebody gave money. Okay, now Amjad came. Aywa came. And somebody else want to take money from him. And I was said, well, I don't know you. But for example, in a shop, you are selling product, something. It's your shop. And somebody wants to buy something and said, okay, I want to buy this device and I'll give you the money, for example, next week or tomorrow, or I'll go and get the money with me. And you said, well, the salesman said, well, I don't know you. Okay, maybe you will take this and go. And then somebody, okay, in present, he said, I know him. I know him. Does this kafala or not? It's kafala. Okay. You don't have to say, okay, who is he? Khalas. You know this person, and the one that you know told you that he knows this person, or he will take care of him, or he will be kafil for him, then you should what? It's okay and consider as kafala. Now,
if the guaranteed person is alive and the surety cannot present him to the creditor, the surety must guarantee the debt paid back, as he is the one who has guaranteed the acquaintance of the debtor.
now,
And persuaded the creditor to lend him.
yeah, as we said, the same example that we mentioned before. This will be turned to, it's like guarantee, like Rama. Huh? Now,
Such an acquaintance is like saying, I guarantee to present the debtor to you whenever you want.
yeah. Well, I'll bring him whenever you want. You know, I know where is he. So I can bring. This is the difference between kafala and daman. Is there any question about this? Yes.
If the person who is granted, if he becomes mentally out of sense, or if he becomes like goes into the coma,
Consider as I did. As long as he is living, because all what they need that he is in person. He will tell them, okay, I can take you to him. He is in the bed. He is in the hospital. Okay?
if guarantor passes away in if guarantor he passes away during the guarantee period,
This depends, as we said, difference between daman and kafala. The kafala related to the person, to the body. Present him in a person. This is kafala. As we said that if he die, the kafala will be over. Khalas, finished. Because how can you bring a dead person? Okay? But if it is dead, and you make daman, that you said, if he didn't pay, I will pay, then you should pay it.
no, guarantor passes away. Guarantor passes away, I will pay.
Not a debtor.
So in his inheritor will pay for him. The guarantor who is saying I will pay.
Yes.
If this person passes away,
Yes.
who is taking the guarantee.
Yes.
So then this guarantee will transfer to his family members. Inheritor.
Well, I'm not sure about this point, but I'll check it. Okay? I don't like to give an answer, this stuck. I don't like to give an answer before I make sure about it. So you just send me an email about this point, okay? Right? So move to chapter 15. Okay?
Chapter 15, page 79. Hawala, transference of debt.
What's the meaning of hawala? Now,
The Fuqaha define hawala as the transference of a debt from the liability of the debtor to the liability of another person.
right. This is the meaning of hawala. Hawala means the word hala. That means to refer to. Okay? For example, I took from Abdul Majid 1,000 riyal as loan. Okay? And Abdul Majid took 1,000 riyal before from Sheikh Muhammad. Hello? See now the picture? I took from Abdul Majid. And Abdul Majid took from Muhammad. Huh? أيوه. طيب. Is it clear or not? Okay. So what you do, now a person who has debt in the side, now Shaykh Abdul Majid, he has debt in my side, I took his money. Okay? I took his money. That means Shaykh Abdul Majid asked me to give him the loan that I take, or I took it from him. خلاص? And Abdul Majid at the same time, he had to give to Muhammad. So when Muhammad came to him, say, Abdul Majid, give me my money, he would say, okay, go to go to so and so, because I have money in his side. Is it clear? So this is the point here. That means, instead of giving him money, I will direct him to somebody that I own some money, so he will pay. And there's some rules. So this is the point, or this is the chapter all about. And now there is the rules that we talk about. Now, will you start again? The Fuqaha
define Kafala as the transference of a debt from the liability of the debtor to the liability of another person.
And liability is the zimma. As they say, تحويل دين بالذمة. That means in zimmati, okay, my liability there is debt for Abdul Majid. And Abdul Majid has debt for Zimmat Abdul Majid for Shaykh Muhammad. So this is the meaning of transfer it in the liability. Naqlu or transfer the debt from one zimma to another zimma. Right? نعم. نعم. No. الذمة means liability. نعم.
The transference of debt is permissible and approved by the Sunnah and the consent. The Prophet ﷺ said, if the debt of one of you is transferred to a rich debtor, he should agree.
نعم. This is the dalil. The dalil. If somebody refer you to somebody who is able, who is rich, okay, I know, and you know that he is able to pay you the debt, then you should accept. Right or not? Because the important point for you is what? To get your money back. Okay? So this is why they said, ala mali. Mali, that means rich. Right? That means, if you refer it to somebody who is poor and broken, he has nothing. He has the right to reject or not? You will accept? No, you would say, no. How can I get it from his poor man? He has nothing. Okay? So this is the point here. Right? And here's some differences which Allah will talk about. Now,
the same hadith is narrated with a slight difference in wording as, whoever is transferred from a debtor to a rich debtor should agree. Many scholars maintain that there is a consensus on the permissibility of the transference of debt.
So this is another dalil. So the first dalil is what? In the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The second dalil in what? In al-ijma'. Nah.
The transference of debt is a kind of leniency legally intended to facilitate the transactions of people and help them meet their needs, pay back the debt and be comforted.
Right. What's the meaning of cleaning here? Aqdish. I gave you the three kinds of uqud. This is aqdu, irfa. Aqdu, irfa. Now.
Some people think that the permissibility of the transference of debt does not accord with analogical deduction. They believe that it is a kind of selling a debt for another debt, which is forbidden.
Now, why the Shaykh said transfer debt to another debt? Here, because some people, they have confused. Because to transfer debt to a debt is forbidden. Okay? Transfer بيع دين بدين. بيع دين بدين. This is forbidden. So some people are confused between al-hawala and the transfer of the debt in this regard. Now, go ahead.
However, the great scholar Ibn Qayyim argues against this opinion and affirms that the permissibility of the transference of debt is not an exception, as it is a kind of paying back debt, not of selling. He says, even if the transference of debt is a kind of selling a debt for another, the lawgiver does not prohibit it, since the principles of Sharia necessitate the permissibility to transfer debt from the liability of the original debtor to liability of a new one. There are some legal conditions on the transference of debt to make it valid.
Why did he mention this condition? Because without this condition, it will be in the form of selling debt by debt. Got the point now? Right? So if you follow this condition, it will be hawala. If some of them they were not met, then it will be what? Selling debt with debt, which is haram. And this is why we should understand these conditions to make it very, very clear and don't confuse. This is why, brothers, you see, the area of selling and buying, it's very deep, it needs deep understanding. And the first thing that you should know is the difference in what? Definition of terms. So you cannot confuse or mix between different terms, between hawala and daman, and sometimes the difference is very minor, very slight. I mean, one condition missing will change one from one form to another form. Now, first,
the legal conditions are, first, the debt must be under the responsibility of the substitute debtor, since the transference of debt obliges the substitute debtor to pay the debt back.
now,
If the debt is not yet determined to be under the responsibility of the original debtor, its transference is not valid, as it can be cancelled. For example, it is not legal to transfer the price of a purchased article as long as it is still subject to approval. Also, a son cannot transfer his debt to the credit of his father unless his father gives his consent.
right, this is here two examples. Something which is not sure. Like you want to buy something, but you didn't. So the debt is not there. The buyer did not give the commodity to this person, and this person now become liability to pay the price to the businessman or to the shop owner. Not yet. There is no debt. So how can he transfer him? Okay? Something not certain. Another example. Like for example, in marriage, you need a dowry for the woman. Right? Man, he should pay dowry for the lady. They sign the contract of marriage. And they mention in this contract that the dowry, for example, 10,000 riyal. نعم for the marriage. The dowry اللي هو مهر. طيب, is one which is very essential in the marriage contract. المهر. They should name the mahar. So the woman that want to marry, for example, somebody asked her, for example, 10,000. She said, okay, you see, my husband or my new husband did not pay me the dowry yet. Okay, the mahar. So you can take it from him. Hawala. Okay, you can take it from him. Right? Now, at this point here, if the person or this man, he did not, continue in his marriage, that means if he married her, that means he get with her. You know what I mean? Okay? And at home. Then, this becomes debt in his side. Right or not? He has to pay the mahar. But if he did it, they signed a contract and he didn't touch her yet. Now, maybe he cancelled. Right or not? In case he cancelled, according to the Sharia, he pay only 50% of the mahar. Half of the mahar. So here the debt is not certain. The debt here is not certain in the side of the husband. This is why you cannot hear this woman, she cannot transfer her debt to her husband. Got it?
Transaction is still not.
Like selling, and listen, as long as it's not confirmed, okay, confirmed in his side, then you cannot transfer this debt to him. واضح؟ نعم. Fine.
The second condition is the substitute debt must be identical to the transferred debt.
Like why they say mention the father here? Well, he said, son cannot transfer his debt to credit of his father unless his father gives his consent. This is one other condition. Otherwise you will see your kids, they go and buy and they take whatever. They said, okay, you can take it from my father. Which is not right here. Right? Because the father is responsible for what? For taking care of the children to the expenses. But not about their debt. Now?
What about the act?
Now?
Act. Father gives something and he get it from his son.
The same. The same. Now?
The second legal condition is the substitute debt must be identical to the transferred debt with regard to the kind. Example, dirhams for dirhams.
Now, this is very important. It's not like, for example, I took money in dollars, okay, and you transfer me to somebody, right, that you gave him riyal. Okay, this is one. It should be exactly the same kind. Okay, and the same also, not only the kind or the type of currency, but also in the value. In the value. For example, 10,000 riyal should be, you refer to 10,000 riyal. Not to somebody who is 12, he will give you 12,000 riyal. It will be riba. Because you got more than what you gave, right or not? I took that for example, I took money, I took 10,000 riyal from Sheikh Abdul Majid. And because he has no money, for example, he said, and he get, for sometimes you are asking Sheikh Muhammad to give him his money, and Muhammad, 12,000 that Sheikh Abdul Majid gave to Muhammad. So this, he wants to get rid of this. He say, okay, go and, I have money. I have 12,000 with Muhammad, you can take it from him. He said, no. It should be, unless, if he took it and returned the 2,000 to whom? To Abdul Majid, to the one who has this money. Or he should get back this money. Now.
On this, Kafala also happens in Britain.
Yes, it's coming. Now?
Transferring to multiple parts.
Multiple parts. We'll see. At the end of we didn't fight, then we'll see. Now.
Likewise, the substitute debt and the transferred debt must be equal with regard to the description. Example, Saudi currency for Saudi currency. Also, the two debts must have the same time for due payment.
This is the timing here. So, in the kind, on the value, on the time. Right? Because the time is here is very critical. Right? The time for my debt is 1 year. But the time for the other debt is 2 years. So it is not right. It should be the same time. Now,
whether they are to be paid in cash or on credit. That is, the transference of debt is not valid if one debt is paid in cash and the other is on credit. Or if the due time of one debt is after a month, while the time of the other is after 2 months. Besides, the amount of the two debts must be same. It is impermissible to transfer a debt of 100 riyals, for example, for another debt of only 99 riyals.
This is different, and you know the difference in the same currency considered as riba. This is why, now.
This is because the transference of debt, like lending loans, is intended to be a kind of leniency, not a means to gain profit.
No.
Hence, if there is any difference in the value between the two debts, this will violate the legal objective of the transference of debt, which is leniency, and set instead the objective of gaining interest, which is impermissible in the transference of debt.
This to change it from عقد الإرصاف إلى عقد المعاوضة. Okay? It said that عقد الإرصاف وعقد معاوضة وعقد توثيق. Right? Three kinds of عقود. Three types of contracts. To classify all this, okay? To classify all these contracts, you can classify it into three different types. عقد معاوضة, as you said, like what? Sell and selling and buying. Why? Because you give something and you get something else. This is معاوضة. عقد توثيق, which is guarantee. Okay? هذا مثل الضمان. طيب. وعقد إرصاف مثل القرض. Okay? Right? القرض, the loan. This is عقد إرصاف. So the Sheikh said here, this, the حوالة, tends to be عقد إرصاف, not عقد توثيق. This is why not عقد معاوضة. This is why you cannot transfer it from إرصاف إلى معاوضة. Because if you get profit, that means you make what? Riba, and at the same time it becomes turned to be معاوضة instead of إرصاف. Now.
However, it is permissible for the original debtor to transfer only part of his debt to the credit of a subsequent debtor, or to transfer his debt to the credit of someone owing him more than the original debt, and the remaining debt in each case is still due for its creditor.
Right. This is, if there is difference in the amount, it depends. For example, Sheikh Muhammad, as we said, the same example, Sheikh Abdul Majid, when Muhammad came to him, he said, go to Ali or to Hassan and take from, because I have debt. I owe him about 10,000. But he transferred for 5,000. Is it okay or not? That means he takes part of it and leaves the rest. Is it clear? Again. Now, Muhammad came to me. And he said, Sheikh Abdul Majid sent me to you because he took from me 20,000 riyal. And he said, go to Yahya and take 10,000 riyal from your money. Because I have only 10,000 for Abdul Majid, my side. So this is the point when he said he may transfer part. Okay? Okay. And then he will maybe give him or pay him from other sources. This is okay. Or the opposite. The opposite. Muhammad came and said, give me 10,000 because Abdul Majid took from me 10,000. And he said, when I came to him, he said, go to Yahya and take it from him. And in my side, 50,000 for Abdul Majid. Then I will give him how much? Just the 10 that he asked for. Right? And then the difference between me and Abdul Majid will be how much? 4. What was it? Is it clear?
The third legal condition is the consent of the original debtor is necessary here, as he is not obliged to pay back his debt through transference.
Fine. You got it here? I am the one, okay, who transfer. So it is with my permission. If I didn't transfer somebody, nobody just by himself he go to third party because he know that I took from him some money and he said, you should give me from the money of Fulan, Hassan. In this way it's not. Why? Because I didn't approve it. Get the point here? Is it clear? We'll stop here. The third. Did you finish this paragraph? Just finish the paragraph.
However, the consent of the creditor is not necessary. Also, the consent of the creditor is not necessary in order to transfer the debt to the credit of a rich person who is not procrastinating. Rather, such a creditor must be forced to accept the transference of the debt, and then he has the right to claim his loan from the substitute debtor.
Right. What's up here? For that. Allah. طيب بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Now, whom should we take approval? This is the question here. Okay? This is the question. Is it the creditor? Right? Or the one that you want him to go and take your agent from third party? Let's make it as an example. Now, Shaykh Abdul Majid, as we said, now this is the relation. Now we have Hussein, Abdul Majid, Muhammad. Hussein took from Abdul Majid 10,000. Abdul Majid took from Muhammad 10,000. Is it clear? Now, Muhammad should ask whom? Abdul Majid. And Abdul Majid should ask Hussein. Right? Now, when Muhammad, he came to Abdul Majid, he said to him, okay, go to Hussein, okay, because, he took some money from him. Now, whose approval here should be? Is it Abdul Majid or Muhammad? Does Muhammad have the right to reject and say, no, you give me my money? No. As we said, he's Mali. Okay? Yes. Then he has that his approval is not needed. Right? Right. But the approval of Abdul Majid is needed here. It's not for Muhammad just because he knows that, okay, Hussein took 10,000 or 100. from Abdul Majid that he said, instead of going to Abdul Majid, I may not find it, I'll go direct to Hussein, and they said, give me from the money that you have for Abdul Majid. Is it okay? No, it is not okay. Because it will be approved by whom? By Sheikh Abdul Majid. So Hussein came and gave him the money, okay, and then Abdul Majid asked Hussein, give me my money. He said, well, I gave it to Muhammad because he said that, you took some money from him. He said, I didn't approve this. So it's still to pay him. Is it clear now with example? Right, now. Now. Yes.
Muhammad was not good to say.
Yes. As we said, if he is, you know him, that for example, he doesn't have the money. I mean, he's poor. He can't pay the money. Or he knows that Hussein, of the kind of the people that, he will neglect you. Every time he said, okay, next week, next month, next year, like some people are doing. Okay? And he knows that you will never get it from him, then he has the right to object. But if it was nice person, okay, and he have enough money to pay the debt, then he should not refuse. Okay? He should not refuse. This is why the hadith, the meaning of the hadith, whoever transfer to Mali, to rich, then he should what? He should accept. Right.
The Prophet ﷺ says, procrastination, delaying in paying debt by a wealthy person is injustice.
Matlu al-ghani dhulm. This is the meaning of the hadith. The hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, Matlu al-ghani dhulm. 3 words. Look how it's translated in English. Okay? Matlu al-ghani dhulm. And this is from Jawam al-Kalim. Alayhi salatu wassalam. The Prophet ﷺ, he took 2 words or 3 words, but it has deep meaning. مطل الغني ظلم. نعم. Again. نعم. مطل. From مطل. نعم. نعم.
Delay in paying debt by a wealthy person is injustice.
Yeah. Delaying it is. Yeah. Every time you come to him and you say, tomorrow, next month, this is called مماطلة. مماطلة, that means he will not give you your right away. He cause you trouble and give you headache. Going, turning, and some people are doing like this. Especially at rent now. You rent your apartment, and then you want to take the rent. They say, Wallah ma bida, and I don't have any money. Okay, next week, next month, till it's become, many months. And then you have no way just to get him out of the apartment. So, matlul ghani is the meaning of this hadith. Now.
So if the debt of one of you is transferred from a debtor to a rich debtor, he should agree.
Is that the point now? Yeah. Now.
In another narration of this hadith, the wording is, whoever is transferred from his debtor to a rich debtor should agree.
Should agree. Should agree. He should not reject, because the purpose is to get his money, and since he can get it through this way, why not? And this is more easier for him, and because he can solve problem of 2 sides, not only his problem. Now,
this means that the creditor should agree on the transference of his debt. If the substitute debtor is not able to fulfill the debt or may procrastinate, then the creditor is not obliged to agree to the transference of the debt to the person, as this may damage his interest. In this respect, the indebted person who are able to pay back should hasten to be absolved, paying back their debts to the original creditors or the substitute creditors.
Can we stop here? Yeah. Then I think better to start with. Right.
3 kinds of
نعم.
after
نعم. We have 3 type عقود. عقد معاوضة, وعقد إرفاق, وعقد توثيق. وإياك بارك الله فيك. إن شاء الله
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك.